Hi everybody. So I know I've talked to a lot of you on the phone already this week, and if I haven't talked to you, you will be getting your information about no cook dough and kind of the guidelines and recipes of how to make it. So I'm just going to do a short quick video with Riley. Say hi, Riley.
Hi.
We're just going to do a quick video to show you how to make the Play-Doh. So if you have never made it before, it is very simple. Attached in your packets that I dropped off also has some other recipes on how to make Play-Doh, but I'm going to go with the one that is directly on our curriculum. So first, we have to make sure we have all of our ingredients. So for the no-cook dough, we need water. So we have our water here. We need food coloring. Is there some left in there?
No.
So we have food coloring somewhere. And we have flour and salt. So we are going to start, I'm actually going to let Riley do the mixing while I do the measuring. So we're going to start by adding the water to the mixing bowl. So it calls for a ½ cup of water. So I have more than that, so I am going to pour it into another cup. I am actually going to double the recipe just so we have more. But on here it does call for a ½ cup, so I'm going to start with that and go ahead and measure out a ½ cup. So I have a 1/4 cup measuring cup, so I am actually going to do 4 of them. Alright, so we have that. So now I am going to add our food coloring, is what it says to do on there. I'm going to step away from the camera for a minute to grab my food coloring. So we are going to add blue. So you just need to do a couple of drops, not a lot. Just take it off. All right, just do 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. All right. So then I'm gonna go ahead and give her the spoon. So after you have your water and your food coloring, you're gonna mix the food coloring in a little bit, and then you're going to add in your salt and flour. So it calls for 1 cup of flour. So again, remember I am doubling mine, so I'm going to put in 2 cups. 1. Remember when you're measuring, you want to make sure that it is level, so you can get a heaping spoon, take a knife or something and level it off. And there's 2. So I have 2 cups of flour, and then I'm going to add my salt. So our recipe does call for a ½ cup of salt. Again, I'm doubling mine, so I'm going to add 1 cup. So I'm going to measure out my salt.
Supposed to be floury.
Yep, it is. So I am going to add in the salt.
That's a lot of
And
salt.
Riley is going to continue mixing. Once the dough clumps together, she can start kneading it with her hands. So stir it together a little bit more, and once it starts to get clumpy, you can use your hands and mix it together. So our blue didn't show up very dark, so when making yours, you may want to do a few more drops. We just did 3 because I wasn't sure how it was going to, here's this, let me see, how it was going to do. So now that it is a pretty color, but it's not a very dark blue. So we can start kneading it with our hands and get it good and mixed together. Make sure you get the salt mixed in there really good. This is going to be a little bit of a stickier recipe. but if it is too sticky, you can add more flour. If it's too dry, you can add more water and make it that way. So I think our salt's not mixing in very good.
I know, I feel like we have too much salt.
No, we have enough salt, but I think you started stirring too soon.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So we have to knead it together a little bit so that the salt gets mixed in. All right. So we have our no-cook dough. It is a little bit sticky, so again, if you wanted to add more flour, you could, or on whatever surface your child is playing on, you can just sprinkle a little bit of flour out and allow them to play with it. This will stay good for a couple of days. Make sure that you put it into a Ziploc baggie, otherwise it will dry out. But this is a quick, fun, cheap activity. The children can work on cognitive skills by helping you measure out and mixing. It's a great fine motor activity. Continue working with the kids in their motor skills. Anything that they are using their hands and their fingers for is a fine motor activity. It's fun, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, there is our first lesson on making homemade dough. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, and I look forward to talking to you about it next week. Bye, guys.